Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Singh. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. Firstly, I am going to say a very big shout out to Black people. Black women, you all rock. Black men, you all rock. The reality is that some people knew how important you are to them, but they are avoiding it. Why? Because anybody that see how important someone is and the person tries to avoid it, I mean, to say it, you are actually a cunning person. And majority of them have really been very cunning with Black people. Black people knew it. But most times, Black people overlook some certain things. Why? Because they want everybody to have equal right and all that, because that has always been what they are fighting for. And the fact that Black people knew how this game is being played and they know what they can tell you to avoid this and avoid that, they knew all of it. Now, I hope you all saw the town hall meeting that happened in Idaho, how a white woman was being dragged out of the town hall and the other white women were there watching. And you see them coming out to say Black people should come and protest because they know what you can do. They know how powerful you are. That's why they are calling you. They watched that woman being taken out without doing anything. The best they did was the record. It can never be my people. Why? I know my people. But we are going to leave it at that. And for the people saying we are going to work together, I am not saying Black people will never work together with everybody. But you see, this democracy, they are not saving it today. Let's get into this.
We get it. We get it now. Black women are your attack dogs. The way they dragged that woman out of that town hall, and all we heard was hemming and hawing. Black women resting and not getting involved is such a revolutionary act. As indicated by that woman getting dragged out of that town hall, and those white women did nothing. When Black women aren't involved, y'all are permissive as hell. Y'all let that woman get dragged away to God knows where, and you did absolutely nothing. I'm glad so many of us were able to see that video. Because that was a test. That was a test. And we see what you would do in the revolution. Absolutely fucking nothing. You would watch as we got dragged away and assaulted. You would watch. You would sit on the sidelines and watch. You would be a spectator as Black women fight for everybody's rights. A lot of y'all wait for Black people to throw the first punch. And this was a great example. When Black people aren't involved, you're as harmless as a guppy. From here, Black women are going to continue to rest because you have not shown us that you are ready and willing. What you have shown us is when it comes down to it, you will do absolutely nothing.
White women, are you starting to understand how inaction is an action? How not doing anything wrong and filming and standing by while other people do terrible things is still a problem? How it still winds up with people doing terrible things and you were also there? What about what you could have done? I like the creepy guy, like, haha, this is happening to you. Terrible, right? Yeah, obvious. But who was this lady with? Why aren't there women dragging at these men, pulling at them to get them off of her? This should be a disturbing sight to women, and it seems like they're frozen. I'm gonna need a different choice next time, or for white women to be seeing this who are well-meaning to realize, okay, next time I'm gonna be someone who does something. Do something. Do something.
This is what happens when Black women stop showing up. When white women have betrayed us generation after generation after generation, and they choose whitehoods over womanhood. They have to depend on their own sisterin who sat there and watched that woman, let that woman get hauled off by two men that were unknown to her. Black women never would have allowed that to happen to another Black woman. We would have flipped every chair in that building before we allowed that to happen. Even if we just silently followed along to make sure that they didn't stuff her in the back of a van somewhere. We never would have allowed that to happen. When you alienate women of color, particularly black women, and we stop showing up for the fight, the only people that you have left to depend on are other white women. And I think that they're proving that they don't have your back. Not like we had it.
Hey guys, just dropped in for a little Tuesday morning tickle. If you guys want a good laugh, do yourself a favor. Google a Republican town hall meeting and see what pops up. If you haven't seen any of these clips, they are hilarious. They're going to the town hall meetings with the Republican Congress and senators who go back to their districts to talk to their constituents. Well, they come in thinking it's going to be the same old snow job on these people, say a couple of hot, propaganda points and walk out, being lifted on their shoulders. When I tell you the deer in the headlight look those Republican politicians had when those Republican constituents started handing them their ass on a silver platter. They came in trying to compliment Donald Trump for what he's doing. I think he's doing a great job so far. Boy, those people went ham. They went ham on those Republican politicians trying to pass that bull. They weren't hearing it. They said, you know what? We tired of y'all playing with us. Come better than that. Come better than that. You're going to have to come better than that. What are you going to do? They were asking for proof. They were telling them what Elon Musk was doing was illegal against the law. Y'all, they were so on these Republicans' asses. To the Republicans was sitting there, the Republican politicians were sitting there looking like, yeah, they are not used to being pushed back. They're not used to being fact-checked. They're just used to spewing whatever they want to spew and that them gullible maggots would eat it up. Well, no more. Because now you see that now that it's affecting them, now that it's come a knocking at their door, it's a whole other ball game, baby. It's a whole other ball game. And these Republican politicians were not prepared. I think some eyes are starting to open. I think some glaze are starting to melt off of these people's eyes. And I think they're starting to see the light. I think somebody finally switched on the light switch. And what they're seeing, they not like it. It's good for the soul. And another point I wanted to tell you guys about. There's this Republican voter, this Republican Trump supporter. Her name was Margaret O'Brien. Now, Margaret O'Brien had been just tap dancing across X up under every post about Doge and finding fraud and what Doge is doing. And I mean, under every post, she was like, oh, I'm so glad to hear this. This is going to be great. They're just looking for fraud. This is a good thing. You guys need to stop. This is going to be wonderful. Fast forward 14 days later. Margaret O'Brien gets her ass back on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And she has a whole different outlook. It's no more the cheerleader, rah, rah, row, row. It's, my daughter lost her job and she is not a DEI. Doge, she got fired by Doge. And my daughter is a hard-working young woman and she had everything going, and then she comes home, she has lost her job, and I voted for you 3 times. Margaret, I want you to go back and grab that same energy you had 14 days before your daughter got fired. And I want you to keep that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to need you to hold on back to that. It doesn't matter now that you are personally affected. Go back to your stance. Be a woman of your conviction. You found nothing wrong with hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs. You was like, oh, this is great. This is wonderful. People, I'm about to lose my farm. This is great. This is wonderful. I'm about to lose my benefits. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is great. This is wonderful. Oh, I went to get my insulin and it went from $6 to $80. This is wonderful. This is great. I want you to go back to that because all these incidents were happening. All these people were coming forth saying that they were losing their jobs, that they're losing their Medicaid benefits, that they're losing their farms. And you would get on here under these Doge comments, those posts, and you would holler, great job, good job. But now that it's knocked at your door, and let me educate you for a minute, Margaret. Your daughter is a DEI hire. White women are the #1 recipient of the DEI program. White women were being considered for positions they would never be considered for until the black people got the Civil Rights Act movement. You guys were just as much as a minority as us. Remember when y'all couldn't vote either? Remember? But you got your right to vote. The same in the hiring process, honey. See, y'all bought the bullshit that they were pushing because every program that the government funded program that was out here giving people a hand up or giving people assistance, y'all wanted to slap the black person face on it. DEI hires. Oh, that's all black people. No, boo-boo. It's not all black people. Let me school you some more. As a matter of fact, the numbers say that the black people come in 7th under DEI hires. They come in 7th. You know who comes in first? You. White women are the top recipients of DEI hires. But because they put our face on it, y'all thought it was us. Just like they did with SNAP benefits. And a lot of y'all are finding out now that it's just not us. These rural communities, these hard-hit rural communities, they SNAP benefactors, people that receive SNAP, outranks the urban community. And we all know what urban means. So while they out here gaslighting y'all by slapping our face on all these things, they were really after you too, boo-boo. They were really after you the most because when they knew who was getting most of those DEI positions, DEI, they knew who was getting, they knew all the time, and they knew it wasn't us. I don't care how they go out here hollering, oh, DEI is black people. No, because they have the numbers. The fact of the matter is they wanted y'all asses back in them houses. They didn't want y'all in them corporate office. They didn't want y'all in those executive suites. They wanted y'all back at that house with those aprons on in front of that stove, cooking that dinner and popping out them babies. So Margaret O'Brien, you voted for your daughter to lose your job. Margaret O'Brien, who was running around here hollering, this is great, this is wonderful. You keep that energy. No take backsies. Is that a good Tuesday morning tickle for y'all? It did make my morning. I hope it made y'all's, okay? And y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Peace out.
Hi. If you're a white woman, I would love for you not to scroll. And if you are not a white woman, feel free to stay, obviously. But be nice, okay? There's a goal I'm trying to achieve here, and we gotta work together to do this shit. All right, back to the white women. Hi. I'm gonna need y'all to stand on business, okay? I really need y'all to do it, okay? And I know I know for a fact that a lot of y'all do. Okay, I interact with y'all every day. Okay, because some of y'all some down bitches. Okay, and I love that. But I'm gonna need y'all to not let anything like that Idaho town hall ever happen. Okay, we just having a conversation on my other video talking about the Montgomery brawl that happened in 2023 when homie dude threw his hat up. That happened because black people saw a black man getting jumped by a whole bunch of white people and ran to his side to help. That woman that was dragged out of that town hall should never have been fighting them people by herself. Now, I understand that there's nuance, and I'm sure if I remember correctly, that town hall was very right-leaning and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. I'm saying white women specifically because the group of people that is working against all of us collectively are white men. Okay? That being said, y'all are in the group with everybody else that's going to get fucked over if this shit continues going in the direction it is. And one thing that I need y'all to do is act like y'all know each other and love each other. Because until you do that, we are not going to be fixing anything. We're not going to be able to get past anything. We're not going to be able to fight anything. We're not going to be able to do any of that shit. Because let me tell you something. If I saw a black woman get dragged out of the town hall like that, my ass would have jumped up. I don't care if I'm getting arrested. I'm fighting them off of her. And I guarantee you, me and all the other black women with me are going to do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that all of y'all are not about it. I'm not saying that at all, because I know some people are going to come up and be like, I would do it. That's great. I'm not talking to you. Who I am talking about is all them white women that sat there and looked at her do that. Look at her get dragged out. Even the ones that thought it was not okay. Because we are now in an administration that is going to continue to do shit like this. We are in an administration that's going to start inflicting violence against people. Everyday people. When I start to see white women get treated like that, that shit fucking scares me. Because if they're going to treat white women like that, what you think they're going to do to me? What you think they're going to do to people that look like me? So what I'm saying is that if you see anybody having any kind of issue like that, being violently attacked like that, being drug out, having their rights extremely violated, you need to do something. You don't need to record it. You don't need to sit and be like, oh my God, that's so sad. What the hell? Oh my God. Do something. Because until you do something, this shit is going to keep happening. It is not enough to be like, oh my God, that's so bad. Record it and put it on social media. That made me so sad that woman obviously was having her First Amendment right drugged and stomped all over. And everybody either just sat there and laughed or was like, oh my God. And honestly, the people that laughed, is that disgusting? Absolutely. But the people that sat there, knew it was wrong and just recorded it and looked at it happen, those are the people that pissed me off the most. I need y'all to stand on business because we are dealing with a fucking coup right now. Do y'all understand this shit? We are dealing with people that are going to start inflicting more violence on each other. And if they think they can do it and get away with it, then they are going to continue to do it to more and more people. If you see a fellow woman of any kind, but even a white woman getting towed up like that, you need to fight for her ass, okay? Because until you do that, a lot of black women are not going to be comfortable fighting with you. Because a lot of black women will not fight with y'all until y'all are able to fight with each other. Because if you won't stick up for your own women that look like you, what does that mean for us? And my thing is, I want us to work together. We have to do that. And the big thing that is going to have to happen for us to get out of this really fucked up position we're in right now is everybody's going to have to be uncomfortable. There's some vulnerable populations within our overall population in this country that are more susceptible to violence than others. And that can look many different ways. It's not just racial. It's not just ability. It's not just financial. There's so many different ways that can take place. But that is why community is so important. Because when one group of people or one person can't do it, another person steps in to fill their place. So I need y'all to lock in and recognize that just looking at some shit like that happening and being like, oh my God, that's so bad, is not enough. You have to do something. That shit, you need to be pissed off, y'all. You need to be pissed off. Right now, they are literally staging a coup. They are literally replacing people in the military, heads of the military. Do y'all understand what that means? Stand up. Stand on business. I'm saying all of this with love. I'm saying all of this understanding that there's nuance, understanding that there's a gray area, understanding that not in instances like that, not everyone is physically going to be capable of doing something in that particular situation, but somebody in that room is. Somebody. So when I say do something, whatever that needs to look like for you to do the best that you can to prevent what's happening, please do it. But right now, it is so grave what is happening in our government. I know that I come on here and I explain the ways that things are happening and we need to focus on what matters and all the other kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, I constantly am looking at the news. I'm constantly digesting it. I work in communications. I analyze the fuck out of everything I'm looking at. I have so many people I have access to learn different aspects of things that I don't know about. And I'm telling y'all right now, we are losing our government. We are losing our democracy, okay? And that is a violent thing, unfortunately. And it is going to continue to happen if we do not do anything. No one is going to save you. No one is going to stop this from happening but us. We have to do something. Because yes, him posting that king picture is stupid as fuck. But the fact, like I said, that they're replacing people in the military should have everybody shook to their fucking bones. And the only way that we are going to get past this and work to fight this shit is by working together. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it cliche? Yes. Is it cheesy and cliche for a reason? Yes. Because we literally have to. And it's across the board. It is white people, y'all gotta work together. White, black, people of color, across the board. All of us, every person of ability, every person in each level of socioeconomic class needs to work together to stop the shit that is happening right now. And if y'all don't get it together, we are losing a lot of odds of anything actually working. And right now, black women have a lot of distrust in y'all. Justifiably so. And you have to think about these protests that are happening. They're actually happening. Guess who's not being like beat to death? Guess who's not being shot? Guess who's not going and being put in jail en masse? Because we're not there. Because we're not there. There's not as many black people. I'm not saying there's no black people, but we're not there as much. So it's not getting the same response. So for us to feel even vaguely comfortable doing something and putting ourselves at risk, we have to see that everybody is working together. And I literally mean everyone. And on to my black people that may be watching this full video, if we see them doing the right thing, even if it took them for fucking ever to do it, we need to work with that. Please don't shame that shit. Because we have to do this together. Y'all, we are literally a month or two away from losing our democracy. The first step to doing anything about any of this is to connect with the people around you. It is to fight for the people around you. Find the small ways that you can do something about what you're seeing that is wrong. Because if we don't do something now, we may not have the chance to do it in the future. And if you want inspiration on what to do after that, look at the civil rights movement or go out of the country and look at what they did.
Please put Idaho Town Hall in your search bar and watch those men who were not police officers drag that white woman out of her seat onto the ground and out of the town hall to God knows where to do God knows what because they didn't like what she had to say. and watched the white women around her who sat on their ass and did nothing. There was some grumbling, but not a single one of them took any action to protect that woman. And that's why y'all keep calling black women. That's why y'all keep saying where they at, where we at. Because you want us on the front line. You want us to be dragged off by strange men to have God knows what happens to us when we get taken to God knows where. Because you're not about the revolution, no matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much Macklemore you play, no matter how many Handmaid's Tale episodes you watch. I don't know what angry white women look like.
Those white women sat in that town hall. Watch those grown men snatch that white woman up out of there and didn't move a muscle. And none of y'all are talking about it. But most of y'all will still have the caucasity to ask black women to stand and fight with you. Y'all don't even have the balls to stand up and fight for yourselves. And really, all this proves is what black women have been saying all along. You don't want us to stand up and fight with you. Y'all need attack dogs. Y'all need the people that know how to get in there and kick shit off. Because you can't get out of your own way. You are so afraid of white male patriarchy that you don't have the balls to stand up and kick shit off yourself. If that town hall meeting was a fucking revolutionary test, every last one of you bitches failed. If you were there, said nothing, and did nothing, you failed. If you watched it and aren't talking about it, screaming about it, you failed. And this is why black women are resting. This is why you left white woke bitches are far worse than MAGA bitches. The very minute you bitches start to feel uncomfortable, you go straight to that whataboutism shit. The first thing your inherently racist ass thought to do was to weaponize police brutality against black people. Was to weaponize the murder of a black man by police. This is why I don't fuck with you bitches either. You bitches don't know how to get loud, how to get rowdy when shit really matters. You bitches don't never have air in your motherfucking chest when it matters. You wanna come and drop some shit like this in my comment section, ho? Take that energy to your white men. To the white men that's whooping y'all's ass every day. To the white men that keep their motherfucking boot in y'all faces, ho. Take that shit to them. Bitch, where was this energy November 5th? I'm listening, ho. Where was that energy when it matters? It's funny how you bitches scurry like roaches to black people's comment sections, but you never have this energy for your own motherfucking people. You bitches too scared to check the white male patriarchy that you out here giving birth to, that you raised. But you want to come in my comment section with this? Bitch, get the fuck out my comment section.
You know, I'm supposed to be eating lunch. Even though I work from home, my wife said, hey, make sure you take time to eat lunch. So I am taking time out of my lunch break to school your silly ass. I would charge you, but at this point, it don't matter anyway, does it? So if you follow this comment back, it's to a video by my good sister, beautiful, Boss It Up Now, talking about the incident that happened in Idaho where a sheriff told a woman to get out. And then two men who were not sheriffs, not deputized, none of that shit, grabbed her, hemmed her up, put fucking zip ties and shit on her, and drug her ass out of the building. While white women watched it happen and did nothing. All right. And what Boss It Up was basically saying is, y'all want black women to fight with y'all, but y'all don't even fight when it's just y'all. And then this woman put this comment up here. You are proving more and more. This is why we not fucking with y'all. You are proving more and more. This is why we ain't fucking with y'all. So you want to go there? Then let's go all the way there then, lady. Let's go all the way there. What was the difference between the 15 people standing on the sidewalk where George Floyd was killed and this white woman? Because I give you three glaring ones right off the top of my head. Right off the top of my head. Number one, those two men were not cops. Those two men that hemmed that woman up were not cops. Anybody could have intervened. Anybody. Whereas the people you wanted to jump after what they were doing with George Floyd, those people were police officers. They were wearing police officer uniforms. They had tasers and guns. So you want them to die just so they can stop some shit, right? Okay, all right. That's the first one. That's the first one. Secondly, this was filmed by a black woman. We wouldn't even have known this shit about this woman in Idaho had it not been for a black woman filming it. Would you want her to stop filming and take on the cop? Or these non-cops? Is that what you wanted? The reason they were filming George Floyd is because, again, these were police officers. Two of them holding his legs down. One of them with a knee on his neck. Right? Right? Whereas, had a black woman not pulled out her camera and not filmed it, we wouldn't even have known what happened in Idaho. That's the second one. And third one, and probably the biggest one of all. The biggest one of all. When George Floyd was being murdered, people were screaming about it. The EMTs were there trying to tell this man, get your knee off his neck. Where were the white women telling everybody that this is wrong? Where were they? They all just watched it happen? They just watched it happen. Watch the video. How you expect motherfuckers to fight your battles when you won't even fight? You want us to go out there, get bloodied, shot up, whatever. But you ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. So why in the fuck should anybody fight for you? So I did explain this to you like you're a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old knows that if somebody is fighting their friend, they get involved. Especially if that friend is defenseless. Even a 5-year-old will do that. Get your hands off my friend. They might both get their ass whooped, but they're going down together. And that's the thing. Y'all want the work, but you don't want to put any of it in your goddamn self. Y'all love it when motherfuckers that don't look like you are getting their ass mollywopped for your cause. But you damn sure don't like it when it's time for you to be the one getting mollywopped. You want to stand there, oh no, not me, no. And you have the audacity to bring up George Floyd in this situation. Why can't y'all just stand on it and say, yeah, we fucked up? Are y'all immune to that or something? Are y'all immune to that? Are you immune to the idea of taking responsibility for fucking up? Just a simple, yo, we could have done something. Let me bring up George Floyd. And you wonder why the fuck we ain't fucking with y'all. Some of you online leftists, some of you left people, y'all are really out here scratching your heads wondering, why isn't there no solidarity? Because every day, without fail, someone that looks like this woman will say something that she knows goddamn well she shouldn't. It will be seen by people, because I'm gonna make goddamn sure it's seen. To justify not doing something. Why get your hands dirty, right? Let somebody else do it. Then you can take credit for it when it's done. Very colonizer of you. Very colonizer of you. But you know what? What do I expect? What the fuck do I or any other black person expect?
This is all I got from this video. And before I start my commentary, I am going to say a very big shout out to black people. You know, sometimes you don't know how amazing you are. You don't know how strong you are. You don't know how you come through for your own community. Sometimes it's people that are outside can tell you how. Like sometimes, not like you don't know, you probably might not appreciate it, or you don't you don't hear it often. But one thing I want to say is that a very big shout out to black people, because I know what my people can do. I know what my people cannot do. And what they can do is, you see, whatever that happened at that town hall meeting would never happen if we were black people. I am saying it, and I am saying it so you hear it. You see, whatever that happened at that Idaho would never have happened with black people. I know what I am saying, and I can defend it anywhere I go. Montgomery Brew also would also let you know how black people, when they want to pull up, they pull up on you big time. You know? Now let me say this. When people talk about unity, when people talk about being together, I sometimes laugh at them, right? Because they would do not know what community is all about. Because when it comes to community, I can always count black people when it comes to community. We are not perfect. Black people are not perfect. But there are some things I can sit or stand and tell you that when it comes to my people, I am taking it, and they are not taking it. And this particular one is one of it. There is no black woman or that will sit down and watch that happen. And you see, one of the reasons why black people say they are not coming out, they are not coming out. Why? Because the people that put us or that put black people and the rest of the world in this condition are not ready to make things happen. So how do you want black people to come out and talk? First of all, you have to say that you are ready, and then black people will see that you are ready before they start pulling up. And the fact that they are playing victim card in the comment section where people are saying, is this what we are coming out for? Because if you all could sit there and not do anything when they were dragging the woman, they all pulled their cameras to record. So what? Let's assume it is my own people, or maybe like a black woman. Let's say there were no other black people, or it was just one black woman that went out to probably speak. This is also how they would have put the person, and they would not do anything. Why? Because they say it is not in their culture also to speak, but it is in their culture to look for black people's struggle. It is in their culture to wake up every day to some BS about black. It's only when it comes to us that you see them with their mouth wide open. When it is time for them to do the necessary things that they are supposed to do, they start running around or they start shying away. So this is a typical example that you all have neglected black people, black women. You all have neglected them. You all have put them down. You all have refused to give them their flowers. And now you all are seeing the result and repercussions of some certain things. I love to see shows like this. And I am going to say this. Sometimes I am not in disagreement with some certain things, but something I am going to say. The woman that wore black shirt or sweatshirt, you spoke well, but all I can say is that black people are not coming out, right? At this point in time, you are saying we, black people, and who? I don't know how to say this, but there is something that I already told black people that I have normalized doing. That is holding grudges. You know, when you feel bad about some certain things, instead of pretending that it is okay, you make it known that it is not okay. And it's on period, right? She kept saying, we have to see, you all have to buckle. Are you lecturing them like they don't know? They absolutely know. Why? Because black women mostly have actually sat them down several times trying to lecture them and tell them. But one thing with some people is that she's going to come in through this ear and run away from the other ear, because most especially they feel because it is not affecting them, for that reason it is none of their business. So now it is affecting them. They actually can relate, or maybe, yeah, they can relate to some of the things black women have been screaming and telling them about. So I am not going to say that I am calling on people to repent and all that so that black people can jump out. Black people are not jumping out. Black women are not jumping out. I'm not saying in the end that there might not be remedy or something. There definitely will be. But at this point in time, you know, whatever has happened has happened. She said that we cannot sit like this because our democracy needed to be saved. Now, let me tell us this. The reality is that if you people or they were so much interested in democracy, right, this democracy would have been saved in November. but it was not important to them because they felt it was not going to affect them. It is definitely going to start with Black people. I mean, because everything is actually Black people that benefit or enjoy it more than every other person. When you look around, you absolutely will know the people that enjoy that, they benefit more than the other people. The only thing Black people are fighting is that so everybody can have equal right. The DEI, are we the ones, are Black people the ones enjoying it more? No. But they just want everybody to be partaker of that DEI. They want everybody to be partaker of affirmative action, Medicare, and the other aspect of like the rest of it, right? This is something some people already have refused to acknowledge. So, in essence, because Black people are always they want everybody to be in unison, or they want everybody to also be benefiting. They think that for that reason, it is you that is benefiting from it more. So, for that reason, let's sit down and let them suffer, not knowing that they are doing themselves. So this is also the same thing, the game they pulled, and now it started with them. I am not saying it is not affecting us. It is affecting us, but Black people already knew. I mean, the truth is that some people do not understand that this has been Black people's experiences from the beginning. So they can tell you the experience, right? They know what the game is all about. They can tell you how it is going to be played. Because each time you all say something, at first, I am 3 years plus talking about Black history. It has not been long, but at least it has been something. At first I was like, how did they know? Right? And then when I say I cannot argue because I am learning. So what I did, the thing I applied during that period was I keep quiet and watch what happens, because when they vote, they tell you, watch and see. So I am always at the watching aspect of it, waiting period. And sometimes it doesn't take anything. Whatever they said happens. And it was at that point that I said, So each time I say Black people are OGs, I know why I am saying Black people are OGs. It's either you listen to them or you are going to suffer. I am not trying to curse anybody, but that is how it's been. They know this game more than any. Even I remember them saying that if there is anybody that knows everybody more than they know themselves, Black people know white people more than they know themselves. That is how great they are with sporting things. But sometimes even some Black people that even do not even understand their own history, I sit down and laugh at them because they just are ignorant and do not understand. But one thing I am hoping for is that as time goes on, majority of them will also have wake-up call, because there is nothing as beautiful as being in tune with your own history. When you are in tune with your own history, trust me, your eyes are wide open and you are woke, right? So the woman saying Black people can work. That Black people, I am sorry but I am going to say this because I know my own people. Black people are not coming out. You see this point in time, they are not coming out. Maybe as time goes on, they will come out. And they said before, they are not saving democracy in 2025. And that is, you see the same thing they've been screaming. It's also what is happening. Everybody wants Black people to save democracy. Now, I am going to end with this. When people that are not better than you are speaking, listen. So to Black, white people, most especially Latinos, Asians, I hope you all will learn your lesson from this particular fact, from what happened in November. Because one thing I know is that you see what happened in November and this 2025, this thing has made history, and it is only a silly person that will forget it. It is so fresh in my memory and other people's memories. Why? Because they know what they have seen within how many period of time. I am going to cut here, and I am saying a very big shout out to my people. Black power.